prospect Tam Tebow has joined us here in the booth. Tam, welcome back.
Thank you for me. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch this fight. I'm excited all week.
And I just want to provide, now that we have a moment, a quick update on Shadaysha Green. I have been told she is cautious, conscious, speaking, breathing, and doing well. So some very positive news to share on Shadaysha Green's condition as we get ready here to start round one of our main event tonight. The Ring, WBA, IBF, and WBO world titles on the line. The champ Alycia Baumgardner in the white, Baumgardner in the black. This one scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. Not the traditional 2-minute rounds. This one fighting equal time as the men, 3-minute rounds here.
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. A lot of the discussion around 3-minute rounds for women was about how it would produce more knockouts. But when you ask Alycia Baumgardner about 3-minute rounds, what she talks about is the ability to slow things down, to set things up, to make the judges even more aware of her work. So even though you think Baumgardner would be one of the beneficiaries of a little more time like that, she thinks of it as a way to better set up her work and better display it.
You know all about the 3-minute rounds, Tim?
Yeah, I do. You know, that's something that I'm very familiar with. I did the 3-minute rounds for nearly a decade in the amateurs, and then my first couple of fights as a professional were 3-minute rounds, and I do prefer it. It does give us more time to, you know, to show our craft, to show our boxing IQ, and so far, Alicia's been doing great. She's patient, she's relaxed, her punches are sharp.
Alycia Baumgardner, strong jab there, and she told us as she looks to land the right hand, which has been a very great weapon for her in her pro career, that she wants to try to push the pace and push forward. She doesn't want to let Shin dictate the pace and be the aggressor.
Yeah, and you're seeing that here in the early going. This is good ring geography, so to speak, for Alycia Baumgardner. She's essentially created a force field with her power shots, daring Shin to try and walk through them. Now, Shin has shown us throughout her career she's very willing to do that, but Baumgardner is a different kind of puncher.
Baumgardner representing, oh my goodness, good combination there from AB. Her South Korean, her Korean roots in her ring attire and the things in her hair and in her shoes, very important for her to represent tonight on this global stage, this international stage, her Korean heritage as her grandmother is Korean.
Yeah, Korea as a whole certainly tuning in here tonight. Baumgardner, also a crossover star of sorts. She's one of the stars of the first season of Physical 100.
I'd see a little bit more action from Baumgardner.
Seconds.
Honestly impressed by her distance management, but this is something, you know, we knew she was good at.
Perhaps pacing yourself for the 3-minute rounds, which Baumgardner is fighting for.
5. Has to back up, and as she's eating those right hands, she has no choice.
Hand there, tries to get in for Baumgardner, but right back comes Baumgardner. Baumgardner does a good work there to the body, then finishing that combination up top. Alycia Baumgardner will have held at least one major title for nearly 53 months to this point, making her among the longest active reigning world titleists. And this for Baumgardner getting an opportunity now for a second fight at a world title. This one, though, I think more at her natural weight class. She did fight Caroline Dubois at 135 pounds. This fight being contested at 130 pounds.
Yeah, and fought around Shin coming into this fight was that this would benefit her, that, you know, that hyper-aggression at this weight class would be better served, that the physicality would work in her favor now, but again, she is just stuck at the end of these power shots right now.
Yeah, she really is. I think she's going to have to find a more creative way to get on the inside. She'll have to find a way to make Alycia smother her punches, essentially, because at this distance, I mean, Alicia's controlling everything.
Just at the perfect range to land right hands like that is Sparkly breaks it up here in round 2. Still plenty of time to work, and as you said, Tam, not really finding a way to set anything up off the jab for Shin yet.
Just missing with a massive right hand there.
Baumgardner staying at that mid-distance. Nice foot punch combination lands for the champion.
Baumgardner just getting full extension, full torque on these shots right now.
And maybe not what she said she would do, because we know she said that she wants to work more on the inside, but it's working. So sometimes when you got a plan and you see something else is working, that's okay too.
And she did say she wanted to make Bo go backwards. And even though Bo has been coming forward some of this time, Alycia Baumgardner doing a great job fighting off the back foot. She is a really good counter puncher as well.
Yeah, you're seeing Baumgardner do a little bit of both. In the early stages of this round, she was the one moving forward. Now she's showing she can counter shit. What a left hook there from Baumgardner.
Nice left hand there.
Time.
Well,
yeah, she's picking her punches properly, and I think the thing is though, is Shin's very linear with her movement.
And comes straight out here, Tam, to start round 3, almost like a rocket shot across the ring as she is continuing to focus also on punch placement, something she talks about often in this fight.
But you see, Shin is coming forward and she's just taking more risks. To me, it seems like may pay off a little bit more because at least she's getting a few punches in this way.
yeah, this is one of the issues for Shin in this fight, is that obviously there is nuance to what she is doing in pressuring, but by and large, she wins fights through attrition. And she's facing someone in Alycia Baumgardner who, one of the things that makes her special is her diversity of schooling, where she started in Fremont, at the Fremont Records Gym in Ohio. She said she learned the Mexican style. Then, of course, she spent her life in Detroit. You learn what they teach in Detroit, that hitman style. And now, training with Derek James, there are just so many looks that Baumgardner can give you. But hey, maybe that'll work. I'm going to double and take it.
Maybe definitely throw somebody off their game. Distortion. What she's doing now.
You see Derek James there in the 2 box on the lower left side of your screen. Probably not practicing many of those takedowns in training camp leading up to this fight, but they knew that Bomi Ray was going to be a physical opponent. And in fact, she's an opponent, as you're starting to see, that can continue to gain momentum and get stronger as the fight goes on.
Yeah, and to Tam's point, I think maybe this more unhinged version of pressure might be a better option for Shin.
It'll have to be, because I mean, if you give Alycia her time, you know, she's good at what she does, right? You got to take her out of her comfort zone. And she talks a lot about comfort and how she makes herself uncomfortable. And I mean, she's keeping her composure right now. So I mean, maybe she's prepared for this. Maybe she hasn't. It's quite awkward in this round, especially. But if Alycia can keep her composure and keep that jab like she was in the first 2 rounds.
Oh, big overhand right connects for Alycia Baumgardner, and Bo Ray Shin wears it on the chin.
And that was a downward arcing right hand as well. Beautiful shot there from Baumgardner. Even as Shin is inching closer and closer, Baumgardner finding ways to land heavy shots.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she can punch. She's an explosive athlete, and she's shown that time and time again.
Nice angle.
Nice. Yeah, Alicia's got good angles. That's something else that she does very well. And I think
10 seconds.
Nice uppercut to boot at the 10-second mark here in round 3.
Time.
On that logo in the red corner and some ice as they do a bit of housekeeping, and
Yeah, the Rangers play next door.
exactly, keep the ice out of the theater, and they pick right back up here for round 4. And even in Shin's corner, they're saying, it's okay, you can take punches, continue to come forward, but you gotta, she got a big punch she just took right there, back over the legs of Shin. Shin in some trouble now. corner did tell her she can take some punches. I don't think they wanted her to take a shot like that.
No, that was a really nice punch from Alycia.
Yeah, how much do you want to test that hypothesis?
Right? Well, she seems to have recovered somewhat well here. Still 2 whole minutes to work here in round 4.
I mean, credit to the recuperative abilities of Bomi Ray Shin. Her legs were all over the place like 20 seconds ago, and suddenly she looks as stable as she has been in the beginning stages of the fight.
Alicia's being really smart about it, though. She's not rushing. She's taking her time. She knows she has the time. She knows she has the power.
Looking to set up that big right hand. The one that stopped Terry Harper in her tracks and put Alycia Baumgardner on the map, really from that point on. And she is pouring it on here. Shin looks to land a right hand, and there's another one right back with a straight counter right hand for Baumgardner.
Baumgardner has called that shot that she landed on Terry Harper the best punch she's ever thrown in her life. She might be adding some shots to that list here tonight. She is landing some Titanic stuff.
Shin, a counter puncher in her own right, but just not having much success being able to time those counters. And part of it is because Alycia Baumgardner and her defensive prowess is something that they really worked on with Derek James in this training camp, knowing the type of fighter and the respect they had for Shin.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's really, I don't know, Alicia's like some big shots tonight, honestly. Some big shots on Shin. But she can take them so far.
She's loading up uppercuts here on the inside as well.
Those uppercuts are dangerous from Alycia.
Down to the body with the right hand, digs Baumgardner. Shin trying to throw on the inside as well. Forehead to forehead at the 10-second marker. And another beautiful...
Vibe.
Shin corner, get some translation there, telling their fighter not to rush. I mean, let's keep in mind, these are 3-minute rounds. This is the first time Shin has ever fought a fight with 3-minute rounds. And although she is, as we talked about earlier, the type of fighter that comes on strong, middle, and late, this is still uncharted territory as far as if we get into these later rounds, how that engine can kind of keep chugging along. So a good reminder for her corner to maybe slow things down a little bit.
Absolutely, and it's a completely different pace. You know, in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, are a different pace. And I think she felt that. You know, I think that it's different. It's especially in a fight. Training and fighting are 2 different things.
Quick and uppercut for Baumgardner again. And the body shots as well.
And Bomi Ray Shin just wants to stand there and take these shots. No step back. She continues to come forward despite Alycia Baumgardner landing some hard shots. No quit in her. My goodness, she's taking some solid ones here, Corey.
She's walking face forward at one of the most dangerous punchers in women's boxing, and she's taking these shots as well. What did we talk about at the top of the broadcast, Christina? That these two styles, when you put them together, they make for a perfect television fight. Look at how these are blending. And they're both playing their part in this. Yes, Alycia Baumgardner is having a fabulous fight, but it's Shin's courage and willingness that is adding to the entertainment of this fight.
And usually you would say, you know, credit to the matchmakers for making this bout, but Alycia Baumgardner kind of played matchmaker and called her own fate and calling out Bomi Ray Shin, saying that's the type of opponent that I want to fight to take this to the next level, to kick this thing off on ESPN in the main event. And maybe a little play in the fact that she did fight Caroline Dubois.
I was about to say, maybe there's going to be a little bit of a litmus test. How did I do compared to how did you do? But there's still a long way to go. That's a long time to deal with Bomi Ray Shin still.
Yeah, it really is. Because even if she's getting hit clean, she's still there. Like she's still dangerous, right? Her style's a little awkward and
quick of Shin.
10
Sometimes
seconds.
herself no favors when she fights in those close quarters because she smothers her own work.
Yeah, I understand. And working on the inside is not easy. It's not
Time.
Winnable fight if you're on the other side of those stats.
Yeah, that's pretty precise. As good as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah, anytime a fighter is landing at over a 50% clip, you're having a good night. You're winning every round, and that's why she works so hard and talks about, being economical and having punch placement and not wasting shots. All things that she focused on in this training camp, working to the body.
Shin told the Korean media, I want a slugfest. I hope Alycia doesn't run away and confronts me head on. And her trainer, Yoon Kang-jun, who's been her trainer since the very beginning, he added, Ray, she has never backed down from a slugfest.
Well, Alycia is not running away. I'd say she's pretty head on. As head on as you can get, if I'm being honest.
Strong jab, two of them there from Baumgardner. She's taking her time here in round 6 after being halfway through the scheduled 10-round fight. 130 pounds, junior lightweight division.
Baumgardner starting to step in with uppercuts from time to time, and that is just like that.
Beautiful combination there. She catches one in return from Shin, and Shin's going to do enough to keep you honest, no doubt about it.
No, if Ray Shin were going to be discouraged, it would have frankly happened earlier in her pro career when she was making $500 a fight, when she was working at a bakery in the morning and handing out restaurant flyers at night. If she was going to quit, she would have done it a long time ago.
Absolutely, and we can't cut her out. She's there. She's in front of Alycia. She's fighting. She's not going anywhere until she hits, unless she hits the canvas, and it's not looking like she is. She is tough.
Baumgardner digging to the body. A point of emphasis and trying to slow down the work rate of Shin in this training camp. And a nice uppercut lands on the inside.
Listen, this was right around the time in the fight against Caroline Dubois when things started to get a little sticky for the champ. And I'm not saying that Shin is necessarily winning this round, but this is a more difficult round for Baumgardner here in the 6th.
This is what she wanted. She wanted the slugfest. This is the slugfest as it gets. This is the festival. It's happening. This is what she wanted.
It's all the things.
Oh yeah, that's what she wanted.
That's right, Tam. What she wanted was to land more shots like that. A nice right hand to the body for Shin. But right back comes Baumgardner.
10 seconds.
Who looks like a little bit uncomfortable for the first time. And maybe it's because of big shots like that from the fighter from South Korea who was pouring it on out.
Time.
One-sided fights are okay, right? But I want to see two competitive women go at it. And this is what we're seeing right here in the second half of their fight.
And we're getting right back to that inside fighting festival that you described, Tim. It's the Oceania of inside fighting. Look at this.
A festival of uppercuts, 4 of them to start round 7.
There's one person that looks more uncomfortable than the other, and it's not the person that got knocked down.
Still a smile on the face of Alycia Baumgardner.
We can't forget, Alycia is a seasoned boxer, right? She's a seasoned professional. She's been in there. She's done these world championship events. It's 53 months holding one belt. Like, it's a really long time, right? So, we can't count her out either. She's a professional. She's a vet.
And oftentimes we hear fighters say, I want to fight like this. I want a war. So even though things might be getting more uncomfortable for Alycia Baumgardner, you see the smile on her face as if to say, yeah, look at the entertainment I'm providing. I'm in this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm very curious on how Alycia is going to adapt from this, because I feel like there's a switch. Shin was went right. We're going to fight it out. And cat fight, slug fight, you name it. We're going to fight. We're going to war. And she decided this, and that's what she's doing.
Remember, we talked earlier on about Baumgardner referring to being able to pace herself better in 3-minute rounds. It's one thing to control the pace in the 3-minute round. It's another thing when you aren't. And these feel, I'm sure, a lot different, Tam, when you are not the one dictating the pace.
Oh, yeah, and I've been in that position before. I've been in a position going back to my corner and been like, okay, what do I do? Because clearly I'm running out of breath here, guys. But, again, the good boxers will adapt. And the good boxer will know how to pick up, how to speed up a pace, or slow it down.
And she just picked her off with an uppercut from the right hand, almost baiting her into that. We talked about Alycia Baumgardner fighting the 12 3-minute rounds in her last fight versus Layla Boudoin, but it was not at a pace like this in those rounds. Maybe taking a bit of a round off here for Alycia Baumgardner, picking her shots, being a little more economical than we've seen her in other rounds.
But maybe winning this round as well. I mean, she's engaging less, but she's the one that's landing here, and maybe this pot-shotting approach can take some of that momentum that Shin is building away. That's a nice left hook from Shin.
10 seconds.
She is tough. She also landed a left hand right there on Alycia Baumgardner at the 10-second mark. Some kind of toughness Shin.
Time.
That'll be graceful. At least I'll try.
Round 8 of this scheduled 10-round World Championship fight. Nice uppercut with the right hand and then down to the body for Baumgardner.
So Baumgardner came out talking to Shin there. See the attitude of Alycia Baumgardner coming out a little bit more. You see him shoving Shin against the ropes, trying to assert dominance once again here in the 8th.
Kind of hold, turn, walk the challenger back. Shin trying to land one of those uppercuts herself.
Some pretty footwork here from Baumgardner.
Yeah, it is. She's controlling where Shin is. And what I'd like to see from Shin is maybe throw a little bit more at her chest, right? Because her head can move, but the chest is attached to her legs, so it ain't really going nowhere.
Pace slowing down just a bit here to start round 8 in the first minute.
It's not for lack of effort from Bomi Ray Shin. The pace is slowing because of Alycia Baumgardner. Again, her ability to wrestle control of this fight, to change the tempo when it seemed like it might have been rolling downhill in a bad direction.
Yeah, she adapted, she turned it around, and she decided to do something different. Which is what a vet will do. It's what a seasoned boxer will do.
Shin ripped a shot to the body on the left hand, but because Baumgardner has been on the move, Shin hasn't been able to establish much offense here in this round.
Yeah, but I mean, she could cut the ring off a little bit more. I feel like, Alycia is moving her where she wants, but she could be smarter and cut the ring off and try to limit that movement.
Excellent point from our resident analyst here tonight, Tam Thibault. She wanted to be fighting tonight. She was going to be fighting tonight, but her opponent had visa issues, so instead she's sitting in on commentary, and we very much appreciate her expertise here on ESPN as we're under 45 seconds left here in round 8.
Get out there, let it go, let it go.
Shin is still bringing pressure, but if you're scoring this round, I mean, the shots that Baumgardner is landing, they're so clear, they're so obvious, they're jolting the head of Shin back. But Baumgardner is looking very comfortable fighting at this pace.
Yeah, speaking of how she did a good job getting her head off the line from some of those return shots from Shin.
10 seconds.
I really just want to see a little bit more efficient footwork from Shin. I think it would make the fight a little more exciting. I think now it's starting to come a little bit more one-sided.
Yeah, but when Baumgardner
Time.
off the ring, not letting her give away an exit
Yeah,
on either
exactly.
side.
Exactly, you know, and it's also about where she's aiming. Alycia, she's gonna move in her head. You can't hit the head. Where do you go? You go to something that's attached to the bottom, and that is her chest.
And that's why they said that's what you need to do to try to slow her down. Throw some shots to the body and then make the hands come down. Then you can attack up top.
Exactly. And to just keep coming forward.
It's hard to imagine another level of pressure that Shin could reach here, but you'd have to think that she's going to need it.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like throwing some feints. To be fair, I didn't see either boxer's feint. I did not see a single feint. Alicia's doing what she's doing, and it's working. But I think it would be more impressive if she could, you know, really make Shin miss and then make her pay.
Shin trying to go down to the body just like her corner employed her to there. A double jab trying to get Alycia Baumgardner to open up and cut off the ring as Alycia moves towards Shin's right hand.
Yeah, which Shin's corner has been imploring her to let go of a little bit more. Shin said she was going to make this the worst day of Baumgardner's life and make her taste hell. And indeed, she has given her some genuinely difficult rounds, especially in round 6 and 7. But this is looking like a cozier pace here for Baumgardner.
I agree. And what I would like to see maybe a little bit more is a change of pace. I think now it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. And I mean, these ladies have the abilities to do it, right? Whether it's change between speed, change between power, some feints. That would make this fight even more entertaining than it already is.
Short shots on the inside for both fighters as action now comes back to the center of the ring. That's where Shin wants Alycia Baumgardner right there so she can try to land those shots. But Baumgardner punching at the same time as Shin has kind of helped her defense, or her offense, excuse me, become her defense.
Yeah, and I think punching with Shin, if there is a path to genuinely hurting Shin, which has proven nearly impossible for everyone, I think punching with her might be that path, like that. That one at least caught Shin off balance.
Losses for Shin, they've all been by decision. One early in her career to a fighter making her pro debut, but the other two, Delphine Persoon and Caroline Dubois, two very, very skilled world champion level fighters, world champions.
He might have won that Persoon fight
too. I mean,
Time! 10th and final rounds before court judges scorecard sign.
Alycia Baumgardner, although she's thrown less power shots, she is landing at a 47% accuracy rate on the amount of power shots. She's thrown at 301, connected on 141. Shin has thrown 396, connected on 111.
Yeah, it's astonishing looking at Shin in the corner and the way that she's coming out now. She's been hit with 50% of Baumgardner's power punches. She's been fighting at an extraordinary pace. She says that physical fitness is her religion. She must have been praying at that altar for about 12 straight weeks to be looking like this right now, considering what she's absorbed.
Yeah, these are some hard punches she's taking, and I can't lie. She's one tough cookie. I wouldn't want to take on a chin like that.
Well, if there was any question if she was able to go these 3-minute rounds for the distance, she's answered those questions as she still continues to come forward and stalk the champion, throwing an overhand right there that just missed as Baumgardner shoots her right and steps out to her right.
One of the focuses in the Baumgardner camp with Derek James was efficiency, eliminating wasted movement, and you see the efficiency in the shots of Baumgardner being able to see and swim through the chaos that Shin is presenting.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see, honestly, because it could have been a much harder fight for Alycia if she had gotten dragged into an all-out war like Shin had wanted.
Really good stuff right here from the champ. She looks to pick off the challenger at range. Oh, and she threw a a lot into that right hand, Corey.
Listen, there are a lot of fighters in this weight division that wouldn't have taken these shots here tonight.
Under a minute left in the fight. The WBA, IBF, WBO, and Ring Magazine belts on the line. The champion, Alycia Baumgardner, has put together a very solid performance from pillar to post, but not without a valiant effort from the challenger, Bomi Ray Shin, here in New York City. Madison Square Garden, Infosys Theater, MVPW2 has delivered.
This has been all action from bell to bell.
And one last uppercut tries to get in.
10 seconds.
The champ hunched over in that crouching position, and they will throw back and forth. Of course they will. To the bell.
It's such a scorecard time. Let's go to one final time tonight.
We go to the judges' scorecard for the official decision. Judges Guido Cavalieri and D'Andrea see it 98-92, while Judge Benoit Roussel sees it 99-91. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision. And Steve!
Yes!